Good evening and thank you for joining us. Carly, we've been following that story for a little while now. It's great for kids to have that kind of phys ed option.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. And while it's been happening in some school divisions in our region, it is now official. So we will bring you the story coming up in sports. It's an exciting time.
What are we looking forward to in the weather forecast, Gerard?
Well, it's looked like another good evening on tap. We've had a pretty good day. Let's see what it's looking like right about now. The nice part about it is the wind has eased off. Earlier on in the day, we were seeing winds out of the east-southeast and south-southeast, anywhere from the 20s into the 30s. But it's eased off to 17 kilometers an hour. 23% is that humidity. Last evening, the humidity went all the way up into the 80s. And we didn't get much on the overnights, actually. So plus 22 is where we're sitting pretty at since about 3 o'clock. And as we compare across the region, 25 in the Lakeland region with a buildup of cloud cover. And the Battleford's enjoying all of that sunshine today at 23.
The Municipal District of Bonnyville is receiving over $4 million in grants from the province to put towards two different projects. $3 million will be used to help pave 7 miles of the Wolf Lake Resource Road. That project will now be funded by both the province and companies in the oil industry, something officials say is crucial.
Now, because the province has given us the $3 million grant, Resource Road grant, we do not have to pay it out of taxpayers' dollars. It's being paid out of provincial money.
The MD also received a $1.5 million grant, which will pay for the upgrades already made to the Ardmore Lagoon.
We were given permission to proceed with the project. It was in fact done last year. And that $1.5 million is a 75-25 grant, so we pay 25% of it and the province pays 75% of it.
The Wolf Lake Road project will get underway soon and should be completed by the end of August. The Society of Petroleum Engineers started in 1957 and is the largest global organization for scientists and engineers involved with the oil and gas industry. Lloydminster's chapter welcomes some special guests today to their monthly technical luncheon. Engineers gathered to hear from guest speaker David Handwerger, a geophysicist who spent some time in Antarctica with an international drilling program.
We use similar technologies in the world of science that we use in the oil and gas industry. And as somebody who works in the industry for my day job, so to speak, I think it's important to make the link between science and industry.
Local officials with the SPE enjoy the opportunity to bring in speakers to share their findings with engineers and the community.
The Society of Petroleum Engineers believes that information sharing, events such as this, is great to help promote the industry, grow the industry.
Students from city high schools were also invited to hear the talk.
Some of these people are interested in pursuing a career in the oil industry, and it's a great way to get a little more exposure to it.
In the recent push to raise awareness about the dangers of drinking and driving, Lloydminster Comprehensive High School held a mock crash demonstration today. As Jack Haskins explains, it's no coincidence that the event took place right before one of the weekends that historically has been the deadliest when it comes to impaired driving deaths for teens.
This crash site may have been staged, but it's a scene that's all too real for former EMT Don Whiting.
The loss of life in our highways is probably 90% preventable. And so what a tragic loss when somebody dies when it didn't have to happen.
Students Against Drunk Driving strategically set up the performance to take place right before May Long weekend.
May Long's a heavy liquor weekend, and I recognize that it is fun to drink and have a good time, but I think priority is a safe way home and having that ride.
What did you do? I gotta tell you, today, I guess some of these.
It was a gripping performance as members of SAD decided to make the demonstration as realistic as possible.
We found that if it was more real, people would respond to it better than if it looked fake and sounded fake and stuff like that. So we tried to make it as real as possible. And our emotions were all real in there. We were all scared and freaking out.
For RCMP officers, the hardest part of a fatal collision can come shortly after leaving the scene of the crash.
The worst part of our job is knocking on someone's door at 2 a.m. and they know as soon as they come to the door why we're there. They'll see two Mounties with a victim service worker, and they're just dreading. Even before we say the words, they know why we're there, and then we have to tell them that their loved one or their child isn't coming home.
The event wouldn't be possible without the cooperation of the EMS, RCMP, Lloyd Rescue Squad, as well as McCaw's Funeral Home. Jack Haskins, Newcap News.
With spring well into gear, it not only means the beginning of longer days and warmer nights, it also signals the onset of the Just Cruising Car Club's Wednesday night gatherings. And last night was the club's first official cruise night of the year. Vehicles of all types and colors were at the Lloyd Mall parking lot to jumpstart the club's season. And organizers were excited about the growing popularity of their group.
Just Cruising is a car club which started with 8 guys, and now we have 156 members. And what we are all about is just to get the cars out of the garages and get them back on the road. It's a hobby that we love. We love cars and everything about them.
The event attracted car enthusiasts of all ages, including club members, who were thrilled about the start of the new season.
Well, my brother had a 70 Trino years ago when I was a kid, and brings back kind of memories, and it's just cool to cruise around and just see the attention of the kids and everything. Because you come around the street corner and the kids, they'll just like giggle and smile, and they can't take your eyes off it, sort of thing. And
people always like old cars, lots of muscle cars, new muscle cars, trucks. It's good.
On top of the weekly cruise nights, the club's looking forward to their premier event of the season, the Big Car Show, on Saturday, June 18th. Students and staff at E.S. Laird Middle School welcomed the public for their art show last night. That story and more coming up after the break.